All right, guys, I want to go on and tell you about, because we got to get through all of Genesis in 2 weeks. I want to tell you about the generations of Ishmael. This is Genesis 25. And the generation of Ishmael, which was Abraham's son, who was born by Hagar, the Egyptian. She was Sarah's handmaid. She worked under Sarah. And let me tell you about them. Here it is here. Ishmael, by the name, according to their generation, the firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth, and Kedar, and Adbeel, and Mebasam. He had, say, one, two, three, four, five sons, and Mishma, and Dumas, and Mesa, Hadar, and Tanmar. Oh, he had quite a bit of children here. He had five, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He had 13. He had 13. These are the sons of Ishmael. He had 13 sons, and that was their names. I didn't name all of them. And by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations. So there were 12 born out of those 13. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137. He lived to be 137 years old. I believe his father was 135 when he passed. So he lived to be 137. And he gave up the ghost and died when he was gathered unto his people. So when he got to his people, he died. And they dwelt there. They dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, and this is before Egypt, as though goest toward Assyria, and he died in the presence of all his brethren. Okay? And then the generations of Isaac, which was the other son, this is in 25 and 19. Isaac, Abraham's son, he had Isaac. Abraham had Isaac. Now, Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah as a wife. He was 40 years old. The daughter of Bethuel and Syrian of Panam Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac interrated the Lord for his wife. I rated the Lord because she was barren, and the Lord was iterated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. She had trouble having children, Rebekah, just like his mother did. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So Rebekah had 2 nations of people. Esau and Jacob, sale of the birthright. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her. She had twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and he in his hand took hold on Esau's heel. He grabbed Esau's heel coming out. And his name was Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So he was 80. So let's see, what is 80? He was about 60 years old. He was 60 years old. A score is 20, right? Anyway, I think he was about 60 years old. And when the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So Jacob liked to stay in the tent, and Esau was in the fields. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So one of them liked to stay around the house, the garden, and one of them liked to go out and get the meat, the meat, and bring the meat in. So, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. I don't know why he despised his birthright. Okay, so the Abrahamic covenant was confirmed in chapter 26. I'm not going to stay long, guys, because I have some other things to do. I got to get my good working out in. So we're in chapter 26. It says, and there was a famine in the land. We're in verse 26, chapter 26. Beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham, there was another famine in the land. There was always a famine in the land. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, go not into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. So Abraham kept all the laws of the Lord, and that's what he's telling him here. So, Esau was the firstborn, right? Jacob grabbed his heel coming out. Esau gave his birthright to Jacob because he didn't really like to be around the house that much. He didn't care about inheriting nothing from there. So now this is what the Lord tells Esau, that he want him to make covenant with him. Now we're in verse 6 of chapter 26. It says, the lapse of Isaac. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife. And he said, she is my sister. For he feared to say, she is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill him for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, so I believe to protect their wives, they would say that they're sisters and brothers because they want to protect their wives, especially when they didn't have nobody with them to help fight, So, because I was wondering, we read, I said, why do they always say this? It's my sister. They want to protect their wives. So it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah, his wife. He was walking around with his wife, hugged up and everything. So Abimelech saw this. And he called Isaac, and he said, behold, of a surety, she is thy wife? And how saidest thou, she is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, because I said, he said, I said, at least I die for her. And Abimelech said, which is this thou hast done unto us? One of the people might lightly have lain with thy wife, and thoughtest that, have brought guiltiness upon us. One of them may have thought that was your sister. And so Abimelech charged all his people, saying, He that touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Then Isaac sowed in the land and received in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very old, very great. For he had possessions of flocks, possessions of herds, and great store of servants. And the Philistines envied him. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thus, and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names of which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valleys, and found there a well of spring water. And the herdmen of Gerar strived with Isaac herdsmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esk, because they strove with him. They helped him to dig the well. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here, but Isaac began to be more fruitful in everything. There was a famine in the land, and they had lost everything, so they went out to Egypt to start over. And they ended up getting back things that they had, and then they found this water well, which was it was springing up, and people could come draw from it, so they could charge people. And so when we start back, we're going to start on 27. I'm going to summarize the rest of this verse, and then we're going to start on 27. So in the end part here, it says, they digged the well, they named the well, and then what happened here? They departed and they went back out. It says, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and I will bless thee and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he builded an altar there, Isaac did, and he called upon the name of the Lord, and he pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants digged a well. And then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, one of his friends, and the chief of the army. And Isaac said unto him, Wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you, away from Egypt? And they said, We saw certainly that the Lord was with thee, and we said, Let thou be now an oath between us. So he said, Abimelech said, the Lord is with him, so I'm going to go make an oath, and I'm going to go ask forgiveness that we make up, Now this is good. I got some dates, and I put the dates in the steamer with the coffee, and it tastes like just a touch of sweetness, not much. You can't have a lot. You can't have sugar, because sugar will give you cravings for food. So I got these dates right here, and sometimes I put them in the coffee, but I put them in the coffee grind, so I don't know it's even in there. It was a grind and the dates, and a little milk. Because you want something to take the bitter away, but you don't want to taste sweet, because sweet will send you in a spiral with a fast. I'm telling you, if you taste something sweet or something that you really like, don't eat a pastry, don't eat nothing sweet, don't eat none of that. All you can have is liquids. That's it. If you want to put a little juice or something in your in your water, that's fine, you know. But when you're fasting, don't have fruits that are too sweet because it'll send you off. You'll end up breaking your fast and messing up. I'm just letting you know. Sugar gives you temptation. It gives you a hunger. But I didn't got all off the case. So Abimelech had sent Isaac out of where they were. You know, they had fallen out. So he went there. He said, I want to do amends and I want us to make up. So they made up. And then it says, as they rose up, bedtimes in the morning, they went to sleep and everything. And then he said, swear one to another. And Isaac sent them away. They departed from him in peace. Okay. Let me see what happened here. Hold on. Okay. He said they made a pact with each other, between them and between God. They wanted to make up. And so Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, we have found water. You know, it was a thirst, a dry thirst, a famine, no water. And he called in Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to his wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bashemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac, to Rebekah. So the wife that Esau took in, Isaac and Rebekah were grieved about it. They didn't want him to marry her for some reason. Now in chapter 27, it says the stolen blessing. Now it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, these are the children of the other Isaac and Ishmael. That's who these children are. You know, they passed on. So it just keeps telling about the next generation, basically. Okay, and so it says that when Esau, the eldest son, got old, behold, okay, it says here, let me see. When Isaac got old, he couldn't see. His eyes got messed up. And Esau says, behold, here I am. He was telling his brother, here I am. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bows, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. He told him to go get him some venison. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau, his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard my father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring my venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. See, they knew God was so gracious to them. They knew that when they were getting ready to die, they knew it ahead of time. They knew, because they had served God all their lives, and God would let them know soon it will be your time. You know what I'm saying? So they already knew these things, and they were not afraid, you know, because they had a relationship with the Lord their whole life, you know. So they were not afraid. He said, now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, fetch for me 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat. In other words, go get me some lamb chops. I'm ready to eat. Give me 2 good ones that are ready. And so he said, such that I loveth. So he went out there and got the 2 baby goats. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him a deceiver. I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse. My son, only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. Amen. So let's see what Rebecca said. Esau, my brother, is a hairy man. It says here, okay, now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command. So Rebecca spoke to Jacob, her son, and she said, I heard your father speak to you and to Esau, saying, bring me venison and make me a savory meat that I can eat. And so what she said was, go into the flock and said, obey my voice according to my, said, go now into the flock and fetch me thence 2 good kids of the goat, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. Now, he didn't want that. He didn't want no good kids. He want venison. He said, I want the best because I'm getting ready to pass away. He told them to go out into the field and get venison, get buffalo. He didn't want no lamb chops. And so when you get down here, Esau said, I don't want to be a deceiver to my father. He said, I don't want to be a deceiver, because he asked me to go get the venison, go out into the field and hunt. He wanted him to hunt because Esau was a hunter. And Rebecca said, no, just go in the backyard and get something from back there, and I'll just doctor it up and cook it or whatnot. And Rebecca took goodly remnant of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. So he went out and he fetched and bought them. He went out there and bought the goats instead of the venison. That's what he bought in the house. And she put the skin of the kids of the goat upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. He said, who art thou, my son? He couldn't see. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. But he was really Jacob. I have done according to as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee. He says, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me. Now you lying, O God. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and he said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother's hands were. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Amen. Now Jacob was pretending to be Esau and pretending that he went out and hunted for venison, but he did not. He was telling his dying father a story, and Rebecca went along with the same thing because they were trying to just give him something. And it came to pass, he kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is of the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God gave thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations. Amen. So he's telling him everything right here in his dying breath. But he is really tricked because this is not Esau and that is not venison. He's tricked. So it says, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing, of blessing Jacob, you know, they had switched birthrights. So Esau wasn't there to get the birthright. He didn't care about getting the birthright. So Jacob was there to do all of this and pretend like he was Esau. Because his father didn't want Jake. He wanted Esau, the firstborn, to have the heritage, you know, that he was leading. Remember, they bribed each other. He bribed him. He said, I want your birthright. And he gave it to him and walked away. And so anyway, he was eating some lambs and not some venison. And Isaac, his father, said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. And Esau unveiling remorse. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry. And he said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? And he had supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine I sustain him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also. Oh, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, she said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. So Rebekah told the other sibling that your brother is going to kill you because of what you did. You stole his birthright. Okay? So Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as their which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do to me? So it was time for Jacob to take a wife. Esau already had a wife. But Esau is out to kill Jacob because he stole his birthright when his father was dying. Anyway, guys, I have to take a break. We'll pick this up later. I hope you have a great day, okay? And we're going to be on verse 28 of Genesis when we come back. Bye.